I'm going to be using this laser diode. This one's a 5-volt laser diode. I'm going to use it to make an adjustable pointer for marking things. I'll show you what I'm going to do with it in a little bit. But right now I need to attach it to this connector. And we got a 1/10 inch pin connector here. I just need 2 pins of it, so I'm going to snip 2 of them off there. And I'm going to go ahead and just put the pins right in the connector and use that to hold it in place while I solder. And I'm going to make sure the power switch is off. And I'm going to see if my soldering iron's warmed up here. I'm going to go ahead and tin these pins with a little bit of solder. This is just a quick setup for something I'm working on. So I've got the laser diode here attached. I'll make sure I got the polarity correct. It's a 5-volt diode, and I'm using 3 1.5-volt batteries in this battery pack here that's got a convenient on-off switch. And there's also an inline switch, so I've got, for some reason. And let's see, I got the polarity correct. So if I switch the switch on, this one's on, switch that one on, I should be getting a diode. And sure enough, getting that. So now I can put that on my, I made this little thing here. This is going to go on a 1/4 inch shaft. And I've got some holes punched in this piece of brass. So I can slip that diode through there, and I'm just going to glue it in place. And tack that in there with some super glue. Tack the wire down to it. And so right now I'm going to disconnect it so there's no load really on the wiring and all that kind of stuff. And with this piece of brass I'll be able to bend and flex it and put it wherever I want it. But for now I'm just going to use some CA glue and tack that laser diode into this mount. And I'm really just wanting to looking for it to be stable. I want to be able to do the adjustment from the brass piece. By bending and flexing it, and then this is going to be mounted on a tripod, so I can also adjust that. Then I also want to, I'm going to super glue these wires down. I want to have some sort of strain relief on it. So I'm just going to try to anchor that wiring right there. That way when I'm tugging on this wire, it won't pull on the actual diode. Alright, so we're going to let that dry and move on to the next part. Okay, so I've got this tripod here. And hopefully you can see what I've got going on. Got a tripod with a 1/4 inch threaded rod extension. Got a battery pack here. There's a switch on the pack. There's also an inline switch, which I kind of like. It's going to help me because when I turn it on and off, it's not going to impart as much vibration onto this rod as it would if I could switch this on and off without vibrating that. So I've got my laser right up here mounted on this piece of brass sheet metal, and I can raise and lower it with these 2/4 inch thumb screws, or thumb nuts, I guess. They've got flange washers on them. They're pretty handy. And so now I can plug in my connection here, and I just need to be careful about the polarity, because I'm using a 1/10 inch pin and it's not polarized. So now when I switch this on, I should be able to get my diode to light up. Here we go. So I'm liking this switch here on a free hanging wire, because otherwise if I try to flip this switch on and off, you can see it's putting a lot of vibration in it. But this in here, once it settles down, I can switch it on and off, and it doesn't really do much to affect the vibration. So now with this tripod, I can adjust the angle and the elevation and the rotation, and then I can even bend this piece of sheet metal if I want to get it exactly. I want to be able to get this laser diode pointed exactly where I want it, and then move some equipment away, and it'll actually mark a spot for me. You see what I'm going to do with it soon.